Listen, Peter Dutton, you've come from so far behind. You know, a year ago, the Liberals were 12, 10 points behind Labor in the polls. That is almost halved. Albanese's massive approval ratings, now they're net negative. The Voice back then, supported by 2/3 of voters, now opposed in polls. You must have thought at times last year they were going nowhere but down. What was your lowest moment before things started looking bright again?
Andrew, look, to be honest, when we lost in 2007, that was a really low moment for me, and we obviously stayed in opposition until 2013. We had Brendan Nelson, and then went to Malcolm Turnbull and Tony Abbott and Turnbull, etc. You know, they were pretty tumultuous times, and I never wanted to live through that again. So when I came into the leadership, I was determined to make sure that we could unite the party, that we could bring people together. But I think I was also better prepared, having gone through it in 2007, for the experience, the debilitating experience of opposition. You know, I'd been negotiating the AUKUS deal with the US and the UK, doing the defence portfolio, Home Affairs before that, and you know, everything stops suddenly on a Saturday night when you lose the election. So it is a jolt, but it just makes me more determined to make sure that we're successful at the next election. I believe the Australian public want a leader who has consistency and strength of character, can make the tough decisions for our country's best interests. And maybe they thought at one point that's what the Prime Minister promised, but clearly now is not delivering. And I just think a consistency and decency in what you believe, and may not always be popular, but I think if you stick to the facts and you stick to what you believe in, what you're willing to fight for, that people will believe in you and follow you. And this is a marathon that we're in at the moment, obviously. There's a long way to go until the next election. I believe absolutely that we can win it, and that will be because we stand up for what we believe in as Liberals. I think we'd lost a little bit of that in recent history, and if we do that, we can bring people with us, and I think people are starting to believe again, and that's the approach that I've taken.
Look, that last bit is exactly, I think, hitting the button. I think a lot of people think the Liberals, and not just federally, had lost the courage to fight for their beliefs, were going along with the cultural flow, and yeah, it took a little time, but I think what you're demonstrating is if you do argue for a position, you might actually win and get some respect. And let's see, I think you're right, the next election is now up in the air. Peter Dutton, thank you so much indeed for your time, really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you.